to cover the screening of the National Democratic Congress parliamentary candidate aspirants in Accra's Odododio constituency. The reporter had gone to the party office to cover the screening of the NDC parliamentary candidate aspirant in Accra's Odododio seat. A mob of NDC supporters attacked the reporter, twisting her hand and stealing her phone. This occurred when members of one of the candidates' camps vandalized party property, including chairs and an air conditioner, and threw stones at the vetting committee, claiming unfair treatment. Alpha, so that is the story I was able to get.
Okay, so if you go on the internet, I'm sure you may have seen videos of NDC supporters destroying or vandalizing their own office. This is not somebody's office. So they destroyed. I don't know if you guys have seen the video. They destroyed the chairs, destroyed a lot of properties at the party's headquarters. And we understand that it has got to do with the Odododio constituency parliamentary primaries. Now, the last time when the MPP thugs invaded UTV, we did not only condemn it, but we in our view, said that this, to some extent, describes the MPP's leadership at this point in time. Especially my view was that the MPP thugs gathered the courage to invade United Television because the culture of the party encourages that. Okay? And that the people at the top who manage the party's affairs, directly or indirectly, are encouraging this kind of behavior. Now, a lot of times when we talk about the likes of Achiu who speak for the MPP, they cite something very intriguing that former President John Dramani Mahama said. When he said, when it comes to violence, they have the birthright to unleash violence because their history is that of violence. Okay. Now, guys, I just like we did in the last time, and it was a Monday, so we have to do the same for the NDC today. Abna, let me start from you. What do you make of? You don't dictate to me how I conduct this kind of conversation, so I'm even surprised you are.
I know hosting the show.
Share with me your thought. What do you make of the attack or the destruction of properties at the NDC's regional headquarters in Accra?
Alpha, just as the NPP has done it some time ago, it is something worth emulating for the people in the NDC to also do same. Now, I'm not really surprised with this current happenings because of what you just said from the former president, John Dramani Mahama, that when it comes to violence, it is the birthright of the NDC. So if they are displaying, I mean, they are not disputing what President Mahama is saying. I mean, I'm not surprised. It is something that is in their genes to do. So I'm not surprised.
Rahim.
Alpha, the fact that Abna is not surprised is even more surprising to me.
How is it surprising?
Yeah, I'm coming to that. You see, the point is that, to start with, the same energy we use to condemn the MPP, we should use that same energy to condemn the NDC. And I would openly do that, not because of anything, but because Alpha, what's the name of the lady? Akosia.
The CDF journalist.
Yes. Akosia Ochre. Akosia Ochre. It could have been me, Rahim Awafo, in that position. Because irrespective of which political party does that, wrong is wrong. And right is right. So I won't sit here and say that because it is coming from this particular group of people or that particular group of people. Let us just try and find. No.
And let me remind listeners that please, you can join us on Facebook, Orange 1079. We are showing you pictures and videos relative to what happened at the NDC's Greater Accra Regional Headquarters, and so you can join us on Facebook, Orange 1079, and see for yourself exactly what ensued at the party's headquarters in Accra when some young people who were very much angry, I don't know why, destroyed all kinds of things, vandalized properties. Join us on Facebook, Orange 1079, so that you get to see for yourself the party in waiting, the government in waiting, sorry. The party that said they are not very attractive, they want Ghanaians to to be convinced and vote for them. Come and see how they have been conducting themselves. Yes, Rahim, you were on the
floor. So, Alpha, like I was saying, what happened to Akusia Oche, calling from CCTFM, something that is highly condemnable, and we need to, in no uncertain terms, speak against it. Because it could have been me in that position. And I always say that as I sit here, I don't know where I would find myself. I don't know when the next incident is going to happen. And so when it comes to the safety of journalists in this country, me, as I sit here, Rahim, I don't care about who is doing what. When it comes to the safety of journalists in this country, that is our utmost priority. The work we do, most especially for politicians in this country, no politician can do it for himself. We are the people who bring forth all the scandals for you to go and run communications on. More of the scandals you use against your fellow party to run yourself into office. We are the ones who expose it. And so today, if you think that it is right for you to come at us, both of you are wrong. I mean, when it comes to this press freedom and safety of journalists, I don't even care about who is involved. And to talk of the former president saying when it comes to violence, they have revolutionary roots and all that, that should maintain in their party, or that should maintain in their engagement with the MPP, not when it comes to journalists. Because all the pomp and pageantry that surrounded the 2016 election that brought President Akufo-Addo into power was because of journalists. Moving into 2024, everything is also hinged on us. And so you cannot treat us as a party in the election. Treat your political parties at your level. But when it comes to our report and our content and our safety, allow us to do our job.
Mm-hmm. I see. Now, the thoughts that I have to share, and please join us on Facebook, Orange 1079. We are going to, of course, just like we've been doing, we'll share our thoughts on what has happened in Accra to, first of all, a journalist and the level of distraction we've seen at the NDC's regional headquarters in Accra. First of all, what I have to say is that, you see, the level of hypocrisy, and just like we did the last time, you see, when it happened on Monday, we did not speak about both parties. We spoke about the MPP. So this morning we speak about the NDC.
Most definitely.
Okay, because, I mean, the NDC is now in the picture. They have done what they have done. So it's important that we directly address them. Please join me on Facebook so that we do it together. If you have comments, if you have views to share, you can post your views on Facebook, Orange 1079, and in due time, I'll be sharing your views with the rest of our listeners. First of all, is the level of hypocrisy of the NDC. When this thing happened last week on Monday, you should see the energy, the enthusiasm, the passion with which the NDC rank and file were condemning
the releases. Yes.
Even though they have released a statement, but you see, when the level of energy they invested in attacking the MPP, I've listened to their communication officer. I listened to the party's national chairman condemning and more or less arguing to suggest that when the NDC had issues with the empaneling on Peace FM and they complained to the Despite Media at the time, the MPP at the time supported the situation, and that he was surprised that now the MPP is seeking to dictate to the television or the media house as to how to conduct themselves or how to do their things. Now you have a party that is in opposition, a party that said this MPP government believes in violence and that they are a very violent party. They are very indisciplined. In fact, they are haphazard in the way that they do their things. You have a party that is seeking to attract the votes of people to now form the next government. Exactly a week after a party in government has done what they themselves condemn. They have gone to their party's regional headquarters, and you should see the pictures, you should see the videos, the way they were destroying things. Destroying all manner of things because I don't know exactly, because of disagreement over who is qualified to contest. Chaka like that. Okay. So we need to get that same level of consistency from the NDC. They should come with that same passion and energy. Because there were even people who were saying people should be arrested. Now the people who have destroyed these items, will the NDC cause for the arrest? I'm going to read a statement for you very shortly. But I think I should share this before we indeed go to statement that has been issued by the party. You see, the NDC is not like any other political party, folks. The NDC is a government in waiting. And so if the NDC is behaving this way, that is the more reason why a lot of people will tell you, yes, I am fed up with my own people. I want the NDC and clearly they are proving that. So if you are someone who likes a party that is responsible in the way they behave, you look at how many people behaved the last time and how the NDC is behaving now, you will be, justified to come to the conclusion that both parties seem to be irresponsible in the way they conduct themselves. And the NDC is very unfortunate that the NDC is doing this, because you see, in the case of the NDC, they are in opposition. So if you are in opposition and you are doing all manner of, all these things, how do you convince people that you are a party that's supposed to be voted into office and to manage this country? It's not going to happen. So the NDC should begin to attract a lot of Ghanaians by the way they conduct themselves. You cannot be conducting yourself this way and say that you are an alternative party and you are a party in waiting, a government in waiting, so the people should have trust in you to vote for you, because the very things you are condemning as regards the MPP, those are the same things you're doing in opposition. And this now, you're not even in government, you are in opposition. You understand? So you should behave, you should be the ones that will behave a little bit angelic. You understand? You will be a bit disciplined, so that the people of Ghana will say, okay, maybe the NDC, they have changed. Maybe the NDC, we can trust them. Because don't forget, there are a lot of Ghanaians this time around who say they cannot trust both parties because of all that it's happening in our country. So that's a very important thing that we need to talk about, that the NDC has a moral duty to self-regulate themselves, to be very disciplined, to conduct themselves well, because they are seeking to come back to power. And the people of Ghana, after what we've experienced from both parties, have, gathered some level of fatigueness and, disappointment. And so you cannot behave normally and expect that the Ghanaian people will have trust in you. No. You should behave above board. And that's what the people of Ghana deserve. But for the opposition to be doing what they are doing this morning, okay? For opposition, just like I've said, the opposition that said they ask for violence, they are I don't know how to put it. They are the most competent political party when it comes to unleashing violence. They have said it. You understand? So when you do some of these things and you begin to behave this way, people will get to realize that, what they said is true. That they are very, very good when it comes to unleashing violence. But this is a party that said they have learned their lessons. A party that says that, we should trust them again, and when they come, they will not repeat their mistakes. A party that says that they have refined the way that they behave, the way that they conduct themselves. A party that says that we should now trust them because they are the party that believe in the aspirations of the Ghanaian people. And at this point in time, this is how you've chosen to behave. It is very reckless, very condemnable, and the party must begin to refine the way they behave, because if you go according to, or you go this way, I'm not too sure you'll be able to attract most especially the floating voters. Now let me read the message that the party has sent in trying to condemn whatever happened at the party's headquarters. It says that NDC condemns assault on City FM TV reporter. The leadership of the National Democratic Congress has learned with deep regret an unfortunate incident that occurred at the party's Greater Accra Regional Office on Friday, 13th October 2023, while the party was vetting aspirants for our upcoming parliamentary primaries in the Ododo-Diodio constituency. Some aggrieved persons took the law into their hands and engaged in acts of vandalism. It's just like it happened when it comes to the UTV thing. And you said that it's because the MPP did. Please, now we have the videos. You can go on our Facebook page and watch the videos for yourself. We killed the video from CTTV, right? Yes. So that's where we killed the video from. So you can go and then have a look. Now it says that in the course of the pandemonium, a journalist with Accra-based City FM TV by name Akusia Oche was attacked and manhandled. The NDC regrets and condemns the attack on Akusia Oche in no uncertain terms. The conduct of the people who attacked the journalist is highly irresponsible and does not reflect our identity as defenders of press freedom and the party that fosters a cordial working relationship with the media. We wish to unreservedly apologize to the journalist Akusia Oche and the entire City FM TV fraternity for this sad development. The NDC is a truly democratic and peace-loving political institution and upholds the ethical role of the media in nation building. We neither subscribe to nor condone acts of violence of any forms, let alone attacks on journalists. The party takes full responsibility for this unfortunate incident and ensures the general public that we shall take immediate steps to fish out. You've not fished out the people yet. Fished out the perpetrators. All those found culpable shall be dealt with in accordance with the disciplinary rules of the party and the laws of Ghana. No, you shouldn't be now invested to fish. You should go to the police to report. Just like you ask the police to intervene. In fact, the information ministry filed an official report at the police station for the people who invaded UTV to be arrested. What is the NDC saying? We believe it. It's a long story, ladies and gentlemen. It's a long story. The lady has been attacked. Go and report so that the people who attacked the lady will be arrested. You are now coming to the videos are circulating. You are now going to fish out. And they will say we are now going to fish out. By the time you realize that the news is dead. Yeah. That's what they do.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You are a party, trying to see the way you are conducting themselves. Because when you do some of these things, the people will go back to what your leader said at a point in time. That when it comes to violence, you are the most competent political party. So nobody should try you. So people will be concerned that this is the party that wants to rule this country, to govern this country, and this is how they are behaving in opposition. How would you behave when you are in power? So it is important that people will be asking these questions. Yes. Now let me read some of the messages that have come through. This one says that we will still win the election come 2022. I don't know who the we is. Whether it's NDC.
But I mean, you are giving it to a certain party. So if he says we will still win, then you know where he's coming from.
Okay, so now people are trying. So James Tete said that there are differences, or these are different things. MPP attacked the whole TV station.
And so
it is right.
And so where's the difference?
And stopped a live program. But the NDC attacked their own party office.
And beat up a journalist. What do you mean by their own party office?
I'm not in favor of what they do to their own party office, but the two are different. Okay. Abubakar Sadiq Kankani Abdallah says, watching you from Wenchi. Yeah. Very good and important analysis from you. Okay. Thank you very much, my brother Abubakar Sadiq, watching us from Wenchi. So it's exactly
the person who sent the message about their own party office, is the person aware that if you give birth to a child, it's your own child, but you can't kill the child in this country? Are you aware?
Because you see,
that when you even in your own life, when you attempt to kill
don't
yourself,
forget at their youth conference, they fought.
What I say?
At their youth conference
in Cape Coast,
they fought like this.
Yes.
So when you are encouraging some of these internally, when you come into power, that's when you visit it on the people. So what the NDC is doing is like they are rehearsing. So that when they get the opportunity, they will show you how violent they are.
And you see,
you get it.
Alpha, I think that we need to make time and largely have a conversation about some comments that more politicians pass at certain point in time because of political expediency. They say things that come back in the near future to affect the posture and the structure of the group of people.
And let me say, we are streaming the video live on our Facebook page. You can
and also on our YouTube
Orange
page.
Sunrise, YouTube, and
we are live on Twitter, Facebook,
yes,
and YouTube.
So you can join us in
Orange 107.9. So Alpha, you see, some of the times these political leaders make statements. They make statements in the past, like what the former president said. When it comes to unleashing violence,
yes,
the NDC has revolutionary results. You saw what happened. And I was hoping that looking at what is happening right now in the government in power, those are comments like all die be die and all those things that were passed some years ago, and the effect it is having now on the structure and posture of members in the party. We shouldn't endorse these you see, he probably might have made the comment for political expediency because the NDC were being attacked, and so he wanted to say certain things to make them feel that he's also in charge. But years down the line, look at where we are heading to. Now it is not only the MPP, the NDC is also getting involved. If you watch the video, look at the way they are slamping chairs on the ground.
They get you the way they.
The UTV invasion service is a soft one.
This one when you so I'm sure the reason was because she captured that on
that particular act. Yeah. But if you don't want us to capture, why are you doing it?
So they were stopping her from
capturing it.
Yes.
But if you don't want us to capture, why are you doing it? If you know it's wrong, why are you doing it?
Themselves, they know that their actions
are wrong, and you are doing it.
But don't go. So that they will say the NDC is violent. So that they will say the NDC is like same as the.
But are you not violent? What you are doing does not mean you are violent. You see, we need to be very careful of how we run things in this country. Especially the leaders of the political parties, some of the things they stand and they say, they just say them because I don't know.
And it's surprising in this country, you see the two parties. When you are complaining about one, by the time you realize the one
they also doing the same thing. So you know,
and they are and we are told that they are the options we need to choose from.
They are the options we have.
Let's go and do community lens. We'll come back and continue with the show. Stay with me. You're still listening to the Orange Sunrise in Orange 107.9 FM. We'll bring to you community lens very shortly. After which we'll be continuing with the show. This morning, I will ask you a very important question. Are you prepared for old age? Someone asked me that question the last day, and I was like, are you prepared for pension? Are you prepared for old age? I was like, you've asked a very important question. No. We'll come back and deal with all of those. But let me bring to you Community Lens this morning that speaks about mental health, because we are in the month of mental health. After that, we'll continue. Stay with me.
Yeah, Bernard, that's Bishop Kenata.
Okay. I'll look for the audio and share it with you very soon, and then you get to know exactly what is happening by way of community lens and the story that we'll be sharing with you this morning. It's an interactive show as usual, so if you're listening to me, make sure that you come through and share with me your thoughts. We've been talking about the NDC and what they did. If you have a thought to share on that, please come through and share with me your thoughts. In due time, I will be sharing it with the rest of our listeners. You're still listening to the Orange Sunrise in Orange 107.9 FM. This one says that the NDC is another. Okay, I can't use the. I can't use the word. Okay, I can't use the word that you've used. But let's go for community. Let's return and continue.
As part of efforts to promote mental health awareness in the country, the psychiatric unit of the Kumfanochi Teaching Hospital has organized a program for kids with special needs to help parents who have been blessed with kids with mental health problems learn more on how to control, teach, and help them cope with society. Mental health is a state of mental well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, and learn well and work well and contribute to their community. It is an integral component of health and well-being that underpins our individual and collective abilities to make decisions, build relationships, and shape the world we live in. Mental health is a basic human right that is crucial to personal, community, and socio-economic. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. The major challenges identified includes inadequate implementation of mental health policy, inadequate human rights and financial resources, widespread of stigma, dominance of psychiatric hospital, and insufficient human right protection for the mentally ill. Kids with special needs are often deprived of basic education and mostly stigmatized in our community. Speaking with some parents whose kids suffer from mental illness, shared with Orange FM's Community Lens the difficulties they face.
It is really difficult and challenging because these children, most of them are on medication, and even you have to go in for therapies, in which most of the parents, we don't have that financial capacity to pay that amount. So sometimes it becomes too stressful for us. Sometimes you have to go in to borrow money. And you know, nowadays in our country, Ghana, things are hard. You go to somebody, you tell your story. The person, after you are done with it, they tell you, oh, I don't have. So sometimes you yourself, you don't know what you have to do. So it's too challenging and financially stressful.
The challenges most of us face is the stigma we have in the society, and then the support we need to get, and then also the financial aspect. At times we need to get some special medicine for such cases, especially those of them who are very hyperactive. Then you need to get some medicines to calm them down, and such medicines are very expensive. So we are using this medium to reach out to the government to come and support, especially the NHIS, those medicines that are very expensive for such kids, so that we can take good care of them. And also getting education for them too is a problem. At times when you go to some schools, they are not willing to admit such kids. So I'm using this medium to plead with the government, especially the Ministry of Education, to come to our aid and build such schools for those children who are in need.
Speaking with an expert who is with the psychiatric unit at the Kumfanochi Teaching Hospital and a specialist in child and adolescent mental health, Dr. Rachel Otain explained the rationale behind the promotion of mental health awareness among children with special needs.
We are commemorating the World Mental Health Awareness Month, and the psychiatry unit of Kumfanochi Teaching Hospital thought it wise to have a program for caregivers of children with special needs. And I am a doctor, a specialist in psychiatry, and a child and adolescent mental health specialist. So we think of our children and realize that the children plus their caregivers are under a lot of stress because of the child illness. So today's program is a support group program. We have started running a support group program. This program is supposed to help them come together for us to provide some respite for them through psychosocial therapy, art and creativity therapy, and play for their children. So that's what we came here to do. It's all about mental health and improving the mental health of both the child and the caregiver.
According to the parents, the knowledge gained from the support group has helped them to understand the state of their kids and have learned a lot on how to deal with kids with special needs.
So far, I've learned that we parents or caregivers of such special children, when you do take care of them, you need to exercise respect and then have faith that whatever we do, it will end in a well manner.
I have learned how to communicate with my child. Like the doctors and the facilitators, they have taught us how communication should be done. Like it's not only speaking and responding. Sometimes it can be through gestures, pointing, and other ways of communicating. So they have taught us how to use that measures to communicate with our children.
Dr. Rachel Otin advised parents who have kids with special needs not to give up on them since they are gifts from God in as much as they have their differences.
My advice to parents with special needs is that these children have somewhat also been given to us as gifts from God. Though they came with certain challenges and illnesses or problems, we don't need to throw them away. They are human beings, and today the theme for the Mental Health Awareness Month is mental health is a universal human right. So it's not discriminatory. The fact that they have challenges, the fact that the child cannot speak, cannot walk, cannot interact as they should, does not mean that they are not part of us. We need to love them and care for them. But caring for them can be stressful. That is why we have joined hands to help you. So let's encourage such parents. If you have a child with special needs, don't hide them in the room. Don't let them die just by being at home. Please bring them to the hospital. We have specialists that can help manage their conditions. And so I want to create this awareness to all that please start coming, seek for help for the child. The child can also get some skills that will help their lives become better and better and better, and while managing their challenges at the same time. Never give up. Let's hold hands together and help this child live despite the conditions that they have.
In the context of national effort to strengthen mental health, it is vital to not only protect and promote the mental well-being of all, but also to address the needs of people with mental health conditions. This should be done through community-based mental health care, which is more accessible and acceptable than institutional care, helps prevent human rights violation, and delivers better recovery outcomes for people with mental health issues. For Orange FM's Community Lens, I am Bernard Upogunti.
Orange 107.9.
Bank that supports you.
Mido, Aden Webo Sasa, Adam Fuwana, and you woo, a drink, Nasame Yawajre, Bibi Hawa, and the Minkasa. Namin Pesame how, but a Jumano Qua Necofum, Sankaminia Bisian Pudi. Oh, do Nasasem with the Sasan Wakacheme dad. Share Brackham say, Sana Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG, Abuano. Ah, Nami Nisi who an age in a mubia. Oh, do Mamanu see, Consolidated Bank Bessia dear, one you see one edge mubia. Ah, my worry all bathroom. Oh, what do you? What you may yam wasika fem? A science at CBG. Yes, see, we stand with you, T. Yes, bra. Ya grabataba brudun and ubebia. My yamma wa juma besia. Ebe kwa wa juma manager and nine so. Na ye sika collecting and so. Ya juma if wabeti mi aba wa juma mu abeju check and will deposit bia. 80 freya hume so. 030-221-6000. CBG.
We stand with you. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace.
My name is Diana Hamilton, VGMA Artist of the Year 2021 and brand ambassador of Awake Purified Drinking Water. I am super excited to partner with Ghana's first charity drinking water to give back to our communities. Awake is a brand that makes a difference. We impact the world around us. That is why for every bottle of Awake water you buy, an amount is donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. Yes, every time you quench your thirst with a refreshing bottle of Awake, you're helping contribute to save lives. So keep drinking Awake Purified Drinking Water and let's continue making a difference. Awake Water, one for life, supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA.
So you're welcome back to the Orange Sunrise in Orange 107.9 FM. Keep your comments coming through on 0548501584. So I've been over the weekend, just like I've said, I was asked a particular question that got me thinking. Are you prepared for old age? In other words, are you prepared for pension? Are you prepared for life after you are weak, soft, inactive? Would you be able to live? Hey, Charlie, that thing, when I began to think, I was like, at this rate, if something miraculous does not happen, a lot of people in their old age will be in distress and in serious financial situation. But before we get to think about ourselves and whether or not we are prepared for old age, there is a data that I need to share with you, Abena. It says that 1/4 of the elderly in Ghana are multidimensionally poor. It says the Ghana Statistical Service shares essential statistics on the elderly as the world celebrates International Day of Older Persons. And this was in October. So it is celebrated every October. So we are in October, right?
Yeah.
So it's the month for that celebration. It says that the Ghana Statistical Service reveals that the elderly population, 60 years and older, has increased almost 10 times. So the people who are 60 and older, they have increased almost 10 times. So the probability that you will live beyond 60 in Ghana now is very high. But mandatory pension is what, 60?
60.
So let's assume you will live to 100, or you live to 90, 80, 70, 75. Are you prepared for that period in your life? Have you invested towards that period? That's the conversation we are going to have. Why are you laughing, man? It's a very, you don't know, it's a very important conversation. Now, let me read the data for you, the research. It says that a little over a third, 37.5% of the elderly population is employed. So this means that even after 60, there are a lot of the elderly in society who cannot afford to stay home doing nothing. And they need to still be active in order to survive. It says that 5 in every 10 for the age group 60 to 69 years, about 3 in every 10 for the age group 70 to 79 years, and 1 in every 10.7% for the group 80 years and older. 9 out of every 10 employed elderly person is working in the private informal sector, with 8 out of every 10 being self-employed without employees. Nationally, 395,693 older persons, representing over half, 53.2% of the employed elderly population, are in vulnerable employment. So those elderly people who are even employed are engaged in what we call vulnerable employment. It's not sustainable. So you see, a lot of time, what you see is that someone has worked in the public sector for a very long time. He's on pension. He cannot stay home relying on his pension to survive. He will need to. So that's why you see a lot of older people now doing security work, or engage in all kinds of activities just to be able to feed themselves and their family. Now, it says that the increasing aging population calls for an assessment of Ghana's preparedness to safeguard the well-being of the growing numbers of older persons in the country. Okay? These findings emanate from an upcoming 2021 population and housing census thematic brief which examines their profile with key indicators of their well-being. The analysis further identifies vulnerable subgroups within the elderly population. So the question we want to ask you this morning is, are you prepared for old age? Are you prepared for pension? You know, when you begin to hit the 60, if you are in public service, compulsorily you will retire, unless you are a Supreme Court judge, which I think they retire at the age of, is it 65 or so? So you will have to compulsorily retire and then rely on pension. At that age, a lot of people will be dealing with health-related issues. The income flow will reduce substantially. At that age too, you might have been taking care of a lot of people. So your salary is not only for yourself. Pardon?
The Supreme Court.
70, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, 70. Okay, so